back then from the USA boxing.
Oh, okay.
He's still alive. I told him, you never told me about the backstabbing, you know. You never told me about the politics.
There's nothing like training a kid for 2 or 3 years, and then all of a sudden somebody comes and whispers in the ear, and before you know it, the parent, we want to go to another gym, you know. To me, we used to have big arguments down at the LA boxing when Johnny Flores was still the president.
Remember Johnny Flores?
Oh yeah, definitely a great guy, a really, really good guy. And he would tell us, you know, you don't have any recourse, because if you don't want to train a kid, you have the option of saying, I don't want to train anymore. So you have to say, well, maybe they have the same option. I mean, they're not pros. You can't really hold them to it or anything like that.
Yeah.
But it still hurts.
It hurts. It hurts a lot. It hurts a lot. And he comes back and hurts you more.
Yeah, yeah. So you've been a lot of places in the AV. What are some of the other gyms that you used to work at?
I started with, there was a kickboxing place behind Pollo Loco. This was like 16, 17 years ago.
Right.
I used to train my boxers, plus I used to help the kids for the kickboxing.
Right.
Some of the boxers that I train, believe it or not, some of them are police officers. Some of them are lawyers. It's a lot of satisfaction that when you walk in the streets,
sure,
and all of a sudden somebody hugs you and kisses you, and then you go, who are you?
Yeah, exactly.
Who are you? Oh, remember, coach, you used to train me this year and this time and this time. Oh, so what are you doing? Oh, I'm a police officer. I'm doing this.
Right.
I'm doing that.
And it's amazing. You see kids this age, and you know, 2 years from now, they're taller than you.
Yeah, it's amazing that all the accomplishment that you put into these kids.
Yeah.
It's like a little piggy bank. You put a quarter, and little by little you put another quarter. In 20 years, it's a big kid with a lot of potential.
That's right. And then sometimes you see a kid with so much potential, and then they just don't want to do it anymore. It's like Mondo Ramos' son. Mondo Ramos' son used to come into the 108th Street Broadway gym and beat up everybody in the gym. But you could not make him fight. You know, it was just in his gene, and he just would not fight.
That's the way it is. I just had a little girl. The girl was 14 years old. I took her to a championship. She won the Junior Olympics.
Oh wow.
She won the Junior Olympics. No problem, nothing. And all of a sudden, she disappeared.
Yeah, isn't that something? How old was she?
14.
Wow. And you hate to be, you know, you want to see them try to get as much as they can out of themselves before they just say no. But there's various reasons why they don't go on.
That's the way it is. That's a thing in life, you know. As long as you can afford something into them, into their life, maybe in 20 years they're gonna look back and they're gonna say, you know, I learned this from my coach, and I'm gonna give it back. I'm gonna put it into somebody else. Right. That's the main point. Okay, you know, that's the main point.
And one more question. As far as looking back, do you have any regrets about not taking that one last step to see how you would have done at this program?
Always. I always do. I saw Hector Lopez. I saw a whole bunch of boxers went through, and I stayed behind.
Right, and they probably said the same thing to you, man, you should have done this, you could have done this, you could have been here.
Hector Lopez always told me there were a lot tougher kids in, you know, sparring than in pros. You knock kids in sparring, you should have done better in pro.
Right.
But that's the way it is.
That's the way it goes. And so, hey, you're healthy, you're in good shape now, and after a while you start to live with it.
I'm 47, I go to run marathons, I still keep the kids in shape. I spar with them sometimes. I do a lot of things with the kids. So this is my life. Okay. I'm gonna be 47 pretty soon, believe it or not.
Oh yeah, you're in great shape.
I'm still in shape.
Okay, we appreciate your time, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, my pleasure. Our pleasure.
Thanks.
And if you can ask Edson Ramirez, he trains out of the Jackie Robinson boxing gym out here in Pearl Blossom. I was gonna say Pearl Blossom. Out here in Little Rock, California. Okay, so Edson, do they call you Ed for short, or you prefer Edson?
Edson.
Okay, Edson. Give us a little background on your fighting career so far. First of all, are you participating in the Desert Storm tournament that's coming up?
Yeah.
Okay. How many fights have you had to this point?
6.
You have 6 fights. Okay. And how many fights do you have to participate in this particular tournament?
I have to have I'm fighting in August, so from 10 and down.
Oh, so, okay. And undoubtedly you're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Okay. And how does fighting in a tournament, is it more exciting for you knowing that you're going into a tournament as opposed to a regular boxing match?
Yeah.
Okay. How did you find your way to the gym to begin with? Is this your first gym?
No, I had a few gyms before this gym.
Okay.
When I was little, like about 8 years old, my dad took me to his gym.
Oh, okay.
In San Diego.
Oh, okay.
I didn't like it at first.
What didn't you like about it, and how did you learn to like what you didn't like?
I learned how to like it. Like I started a different way. I started doing karate and do that way. Then I ended up in Boston.
Okay. You know, I find that one of the things that kids find out difficult going to the gym is that they think it's a little easier than it actually is. There's a lot of discipline involved in boxing. A lot of mental stuff that goes into boxing. A lot of kids can street fight, but when you get into a boxing ring where there are rules and regulations, it's a lot different.
Yeah.
So when you first had your first sparring session, how did you feel?
I felt good.
How were the punches? How was it getting hit in the mouth for the first time?
For the first time, time I ever sparred was with Caesar. We went to a different gym here in Palmdale. Okay. Called Grace.
Okay, yeah, I remember.
I sparred him. He was the first person I ever sparred.
Really?
Yeah.
And then that was you had already just been kickboxing before then?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the difference between kickboxing as opposed to boxing that you like more?
Kickboxing is a bit harder. It's like the kicks, they're like it's kind of different. They grab you by the head and boxing is a bit easier.
At boxing, at least you have an idea of what's coming at you. You know, I mean, you don't worry about somebody kicking you when you're boxing. It's a tough sport. It really is. How do you think the average kickboxer and the average boxer would do against each other?
I say.
Who has the advantage?
I think kickboxing.
Yeah, it depends on what rules they're going to go by too.
Yeah.
I can't get into MMA. I'm strictly a boxing fan. I can watch boxing. I can watch fights all day long. But two men wrestling on the ground and it doesn't seem to even hit each other hard. You know, when they hit the guy down on the ground like that, and it's tough. I know it's tough. But how long were you in that?
I say like about a few months. Like I say 5 months.
Now, the place that you were doing the kickboxing, they were doing boxing at the same gym?
No.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't like they were over there and you were over here looking at them like that saying, I'd rather do that. You just went to another gym altogether.
Yeah.
And so you said you were in San Diego first, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How, are the gyms any different? I mean, when let's say you train down in San Diego, I know it's been a while now, then you're training out here and pretty much all the same?
Yeah, it's over in San Diego for like about 8 or 9 years old. And my dad took me to the gym. I was a bit smaller. So, and the coach was like strict. He was strict. Each time we ran, he made us, the last person that came, had to run like more laps.
Oh, really?
And like I came like 2 times late. And I had to run.
And you learned your lesson after that, huh? That's a lot of work for a little kid. And one thing that used to always amaze me about kids boxing, especially young kids, is the number of fights that they've had. Some of those kids have had a lot of fights at 9 and 10 years old.
Yeah. There's this kid named Salala. His parents are officials, so he goes usually everywhere. He's like 9.
He always gets a match out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's his the official's first name? I think I know him.
I'm not sure. I haven't met him, just a little kid.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there are a lot of Savalas that used to box out of L.A. Rudy Savala, and then he had Ernie Savala. Ernie Savala is boxing now, in fact. He stopped for about a while, but he's boxing again. Yeah. Okay, so what's your immediate plans? You gonna how does it go with you? You win a tournament, you take a little time off, you play any other sports, or just pretty much boxing for you?
Before boxing, because I stopped boxing for a little while when I was little.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I played soccer.
Right.
Yeah. And since right there, I just started karate, then kickboxing, then boxing.
And when you go to school, I always ask the kids that when they go to school, when kids know that you box, you ever want to show me this, show me that?
Yeah, they ask them if to fight you.
Yeah. How do you restrain yourself?
I really don't like fighting.
Right, street fighting. Yeah, you don't want to waste your time, hurt your hands out there on some knucklehead, and then you got to work with him and all his friends. You don't want to be doing all that stuff. All you can do is invite him to the gym if you want to come to the gym and then train him with me. Because I used to have kids that were good boxers and those kids in the street so they could fight, and then they came to the gym and watched them spar or hit their mitts even. And it was like, oh my God, that's something different, you know. And they don't realize how much training goes to be able to do something like that. And so, what about soccer? Most Latinos play some sort of soccer.
Yeah.
Did you watch the World Cup?
I watch Mexico. That's like my favorite team.
Oh, okay.
So, Mexico got eliminated by, I think it was I forgot, but I watched the game.